If your neck is tight, stiff, or painful, stretching is one of the best things that you can do to help it feel better. I'm Dr. Jared, and in this video, I want to share with you 10 of the best stretches that you can do right at home to loosen up your tight neck and feel better fast. While these stretches work great for the majority of neck pain out there, if you are experiencing any nerve symptoms, any numbness, tingling, or pain down into your shoulder or arm, I would recommend some slightly different exercises for that. I've actually got a video of exercises for you. Check it out. I've got it linked in the description down below. But like I mentioned, these should work great for the majority of neck pain out there. We're going to get started with some active range of motion exercises. It's a great way to loosen up the neck, to get some blood flow to the muscles, to just get things moving again. First exercise is going to be a side bend left and right. What we're going to do is tilt our head over here towards the left, but instead of focusing on taking your left ear over to your left shoulder, I want you to focus on taking your right ear up towards the ceiling. And if you do that, you should notice a good stretch right here through the upper part of your neck, all the way down to the tip of that right shoulder, and then come back to a neutral position. Now we're gonna go left ear up towards the ceiling, and what that does is that just keeps your neck nice and tall. We're not trying to increase compression over here. We're trying to keep the neck tall and just introduce a stretch into these muscles. With this active range of motion exercise, I would hold it for about 5 seconds here on the right, 5 seconds here on the left. Take it just to a point where you're comfortable. I don't want you to push into any pain with any of these, and we're gonna repeat that about 10 times. Exercise number 2 is going to be rotation left and right. So really simple, sit with good posture. I'm going to rotate to the left as far as my pain will allow. I'm gonna hold it there for about 5 seconds, and then I'm going to rotate to the right as far as my pain will allow. And as you repeat this 10 times to each direction, what you should notice is that you're able to push a little further with each repetition. And as that neck loosens up, you're able to go more and more into a deeper stretch as you go left and right. So that's stretch number 2. Stretch number 3 is going to be a flexion stretch. And so what I want you to do is tilt your chin right down to this top part of your sternum right here. What I found with this is a lot of times when people bend forward with their neck, they bend all the way down into their chest, and it's just not very good flexion. It's not a very good stretch for the upper part of your neck. And so if you focus on just bringing your chin straight down to the top of your sternum right here, just until we get a good stretch throughout that entire back of the neck, that's where we're after. That's what we're shooting for. You hold that for 5 seconds, return to neutral again, and then repeat that one 10 times. And then after that, this is gonna be one of my favorite. I call this one neck rolls. Most people really like this when we're kind of combining a lot of different motions because your neck is so dynamic. We're gonna start with a lateral tilt. So I'm gonna take my right ear up towards the ceiling. Now I'm gonna tuck my chin down towards my chest. You'll feel that in a little bit different spot. And then just complete the bottom half of that neck roll all the way up. Now my left ear is going up towards the ceiling to stretch the left part of my neck out. And then I'm just gonna repeat that. So come back here down to neutral, and then right ear up towards the ceiling, and then we're just going to go back and forth 10 times with these nice deep neck rolls. Looks just like that. And then the last active range of motion exercise that I have for you is going to be a chin tuck. This is a great way to stretch out the upper part of your neck, or your upper cervical vertebrae. Basically what we're going to do here is, if you take your finger and place it right on your chin, we're going to retract our chin, tuck it straight back into our throat. So pull your head back, keeping my head level, but I'm pulling it back towards the wall back behind me. Pulling it back until I get just a good stretch right here at the base of my skull. Hold for 5 and then come back to neutral. I tell people this is the double chin exercise. Like, the more double chins that you do, the more skin folds under your chin right here, the better this exercise is. That's the motion, that's the stretch that we're going for. Hold for 5 and then return back to neutral. And again, we're gonna perform that about 10 times. Hey, if you've been following along, if you've gotten some relief from these exercises so far, support this video, show it some love, hit that thumbs up button down below. Also, if you know anyone with neck pain, hit the share button down below. You can share this with them and help them to feel better as well. Now let's get into some of the passive range of motion exercises. These are kind of your more traditional stretches where we're gonna hold for an extended period of time. The first thing that I like to do is going to be a chin tuck with some traction. And so to do that, I'm gonna put my right hand here to the base of my skull. The left hand, I'm going to use this web space between my pointer and my thumb to cup right here on my chin. With that hand, we're going to introduce a chin tuck, but then with this hand, I'm going to pull my skull up and towards the ceiling. So I'm pushing back with my left hand, but I'm pushing up with my right hand until I get just this really good separation and traction force the whole way up through my neck. Most people really love that one. I would hold that for about 15 to 20 seconds, and then you can repeat that 3 times. Next is going to be an upper trapezius stretch. For this one, we're going to capitalize on that range of motion that we gained with the active range of motion. Now I'm going to tilt my left ear over here towards my right shoulder. With my left hand, I can reach up to the right side of my head and just apply a little more pressure until I get a deeper stretch here on the right side. I would hold that in a comfortable position for 15 to 20 seconds and then do that here on the other side as well. If it helps, I'm gonna take my left hand, I'm gonna put that under my hip. That keeps my shoulder down as I'm doing this stretch. If you're not seated while you're doing this, you can take that left hand, put it to the small of your back, and then do the same thing. Just keep in mind, we wanna keep the shoulder down and pull the ear away from it while we're doing this stretch. So if you're coming up like this, it's probably not the best thing for you. And so again, 3 times, 20 seconds to each direction on that upper trap stretch. Next is going to be a levator scapulae stretch. This is a muscle here in the back of the neck, gets tight all the time. This is a great way to stretch it out. I'm gonna rotate my head about 45 degrees, and then I'm going to tuck my chin, I'm gonna tuck my nose down towards this pocket right here. Now with my left hand, I can reach up to the back of my head and apply just a little more overpressure until I get a good stretch from the base of my skull right here to the tip of my shoulder blade. I call this one the smell your armpit stretch. Hold that in a comfortable position for 20 seconds, and then we're gonna repeat it 3 times to both directions. After that, we're gonna start to work into some extension and some rotation. You do need a small towel, a hand towel or a pillowcase, both work great. We're gonna put that around my neck right here, and now I'm going to look up, I'm going to come into extension as this supports my neck. So I'm gonna lift my chin up towards the ceiling as high as I can comfortably, hold it for a few seconds, and then come right back down. Now, if you don't have any pain with that, what I like to do is with my hands, you can introduce more extension. As the head goes up, I'm gonna follow it with my hands. So now my eyes are looking right at my hands as I bring them up into this extension motion. I'm applying a traction force, so I'm applying a gentle pull with that towel. As I'm looking up at the ceiling, it creates some good separation in those neck vertebrae and usually allows people to look up without any pain. So if you have pain, if you have like a pinch in your neck while doing that, this is a great way to relieve that. And then I'd hold it up here for about 15 to 20 seconds at that end range and repeat that one 3 times. And then finally, we're gonna do some rotation with this towel as well. What I'm going to do, I'm actually gonna grab the corners. That makes it a little bit longer. So grab the corners of your pillowcase or towel and put it right around your neck. Now in this position, the first thing I'm gonna do is let go of it and cross my hands. And so my right hand is going to grab the tail over here on this side. My left hand that's on top is going to grab my right tail. With my right hand, hold this nice and tight to your chest. But with this left side, I'm gonna pull that right across my cheekbone into this rotation motion, just like that. And so again, I'm pulling with my left, it's rotating my head to the left until I get a nice comfortable stretch up high in the neck. That's over there on that right side. I'd hold that for 20 seconds. To stretch the other side, we have to uncross our hands. And so now my right hand is gonna go on top, my left hand stays right here on my chest, and then my right hand pulls that tail right across the cheekbone. Hold for 20 seconds to each direction, and then repeat that 3 times. I hope this video helps your neck to feel better. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. We'll see you again soon.